Here is what some customers have to say about their experience with Realtor Nagaraj Annaya.
Hi, this is Venkat.
This is Mahesh.
Hi, this is Ramohan.
We are the first time home buyers with Nagaraj.
I heard about Nagaraj on radio and then I approached him.
Nagaraj Annaya has helped us in finding the home of our dreams.
I really enjoyed working with Nagaraj.
Nagaraj helped us the whole process from beginning pre-qualified loan approval process to the offer accepted, and also he gave us the right contractor information for the home improvements.
I was able to get a good home at a good price in the location I'm looking for.
I recommend Nagaraj Annaya.
I definitely recommend Nagaraj to any home buyers.
Nagaraj Annaya, the one-stop shop for all real estate needs. Call him today for free consultation at 408-805-4653 or visit nagarajhomes.com. You're listening to Real Estate Roundup. Real Estate Roundup with Realtor Nagaraj Annaya every Sunday from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. PST on Bolly 92.3 FM.
Hello, welcome everyone to the Real Estate Roundup with our Realtor Nagaraj Annaya on Bolly 92.3 FM, and we're also live on Nagaraj Annaya channel in YouTube. So happy Sunday. So now, I think I'll introduce Nagaraj Annaya, our realtor, the famous realtor in our Bay Area, and who was helping so many people to buy their houses, because house is a dream for each and every person. So hello Nagaraj Annaya, how are you, and happy Sunday. Welcome to the show.
Hello Fabi, hello Bay Area, happy Sunday. You guys are having a great Sunday out there. We are live on YouTube and we are live on radio Bolly 92.3 also simultaneously.
Right.
If you have any questions, do reach out today. Fabi, you can give out the number so that listeners can call out.
Okay, so everyone, so here, whatever the needs you have, what are the questions you have, so if you're planning to buy a house, you're already having a house, whatever, so please call us on 408-912-5038, and our Annaya will be giving you all the responses, all the answers to your questions. So please remember 408-912-5038, and we are here to help you to answer all your questions. So this is our number, and you can type your questions on YouTube also. So yes, Nagaraj Garu, so you can...
Let me start with the market update. How is it going this week, right? Like, see, the rates are currently 5-year arms are like 6.125 to a 6.25, depending on the basically areas, right? Like, and it is like still we are doing with a 10% down, 20% down. With a 10 to a 20% down, also we are able to close for 6.25. This week, I would like to update on a couple of homes which was interesting, where we went into a contract. One house was in a Fremont, like we were able to negotiate for more than a 200K lesser than the list price.
Oh, that's good to know.
Right. So I think, so lesser than the list price. I think, is it audible to everyone? Yeah. So is it like basically it's a 200K lesser than the list price? So reasons for some of the homes are going lesser than the list price is like, it's basically the house is priced higher. How do you know house is priced higher than the market conditions, right? Like basically depends on the house actually. Some of the times like the seller might have listed too high from the compared to the recent sales, right? Or the house might be very close to the some of the busy streets, or the house might be very close to the railway tracks.
Right.
So based on the way the house is located, it is like it might go higher or a lower. It's usually doesn't mean that you list the house on the recent comparables. If the house is not updated, you can accept it always higher than the list price.
Right.
Okay. So my clients were lucky to get to into a 200K lesser than the list price. Okay, listeners, if you have any questions, do call. Do
Please call us on 408-912-5038. This is a great opportunity for you all because I think everyone wants to buy a house in Bay Area. If not only Bay Area, if you're planning to buy a house, I think I can take my example because whenever I wanted to buy a house, when I came to US, I want to have a new house, but no one was there for me to help with the information. Now we have Nagaraj Annaya here, the realtor, and he's going to help you. So please don't hesitate. And please remember the number 408-912-5038 and call us. And we are here to help you with any questions regarding the real estate. And feel free, don't hesitate, like what people think, no, please feel free to
I think,
take a call. Yeah.
See, real estate is like always about the knowledge, right? Like,
Right.
it's not like you need to buy the house immediately. You might be planning
Right.
to buy in a 6 months or a 1 year. Sometimes the income might be a problem. You might be working on towards increasing your income also, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
the credit score might be a problem also, right? So knowing all the process of buying a house, right? Like it might be beneficial for you, how the mortgage is evaluated, how the
Right.
how much down payment is needed, how much would be a closing cost, because a lot of folks might not even know the terminologies involved in the real estate, right? So these
Right.
two terms involved in the real estate, because if you bought a house in India but you're planning to buy in the US or in a Bay Area, is totally a different. All right.
Right.
Buying a house in India and buying a house here is totally a different, because the process involved is it's kind of the steps are totally different. Example, even including the mortgage, right? Like how much down payment you might need it. If you're a first time home buyer, up to close to a $1 million, you need up to 5% down, minimum 5% down.
That's
But
good.
if it's more than a 1 million, or depending on the counties where it is, like sometimes in the San Joaquin County, if it's 740, then you need a 5% down, right? Like if it is in Santa Clara County and Alameda counties up to 1.08, you need a 5% down. Minimum is a 5% down. More than a 1.08, you need a 10% down payment.
Okay. Right.
So all this, what is down payment? How much you need? How much is the closing cost? How much is the affordability? Right? This will help you out when you're buying a house actually for you guys.
Correct.
Right?
That helps a lot.
So since it's been a long time, I discussed on the steps of buying a house in the Bay Area, right? Let me touch upon what are the steps actually when you want to buy a house in a Bay Area. Correct. The first is like basically whenever you want to decide to buy a house, right, you need to understand what is your affordability, right? So affordability is basically if you're getting a W-2 income, right? W-2's income is basically
Correct.
IT, or like you're getting somewhere else W-2 incomes, right? Then it's a straightforward, like basically we do consider your W-2 incomes, right? So W-2 incomes is like up to 45%. For example, you make 100K per year, right? Like we calculate only a 45,000. We include only 45,000 to qualify for your loan, right? In that 36% debt to income ratio is the lower. Higher it can go to is a 45% DTA, right? Some of the lenders, even they can go up to a 55% DTA. Okay, it's called a debt to income ratio, right? 45% to 59% max includes your credit card payments, includes your car payments also, the mortgage payments also. That is why I keep telling, if somebody wants to buy an expensive car without buying a house, I tell them, do watch out, right? In the future, if you want to plan for buying a house, it might hurt your borrowing power. So you need to know what is your borrowing power. For example, you're making $1,000 every month for a car payments, right? It might hurt you for a borrowing of that negative of $1,000. So you need to watch out when you're buying an expensive payments through a credit cards or getting into this auto loan payments. So that's very, very critical when it's easy to commit when you're purchasing the autos and other stuff, but do watch out what it will hurt for you if you're planning to buy a house. So that is
Right.
basically it's a mortgage related, right? Like the first thing is you need to understand your affordability and like based on your income, how much down payment you have
Yes.
saved, and
Mhm.
the additional would be an 1% extra for your closing cost.
Okay.
For example, you're purchasing in a 1 million house, right? Like how
Mhm.
typically the closing costs are 1 to 1.5% towards the closing cost, right? 100K plus a 15K. That would be your closing cost.
Okay.
Listeners, if you are also listening and if you have any questions on the purchasing a house, right, or a selling a house or anything on the real estate, do give us a call. It's a 408-912-5038. We are live on Bali 92.3 and on live on YouTube. If you want to leave your comments, do leave out there also. And going forward on the next step, right, like once you understand what is your mortgage, the next is the neighborhoods, or the once you know what is your purchase price, you need to shortlist. Like for example, do you want to stay something closer to office? Do you want to stay something far
Part
away from
station.
them? Yeah.
Right.
For
Right.
example, depending on your purchase price, it's the understanding which areas or which neighborhoods, right?
You
For
want to.
example, you want to get a 1.25 million, right? 1.25 million purchase price. The South Bay, you might not get a greater looking single family homes, but
Right.
you can go further away. Like for example, if you want to go away to like for example Tracy and even a Brentwood or like
Right.
even the
Manteca,
Lathrop,
macro.
so or Mantica areas, right? All these areas you can be considering it also.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
you need to understand first is you need to understand how frequently you're traveling from home to office. Is it like a 1 day commute in a week or like a 2 days commute, or there's no commute at all? That basically will basically help you to narrow down the neighborhoods or the cities where you want to stay. For example, always the older cities like a Santa Clara counties or if Alameda counties, right, or like it was made for some reasons because it was a better place to live. But as we started growing, and especially during this COVID times, right, the requirements came in and people started moving further away.
Right.
Like people are moving to San Joaquin counties also more. People
Mhm.
are going up to all the way to even Fresno, even the Fresno, Sacramento areas, and recently,
Roseville. Yes.
and even the Folsom areas also.
Right.
Folsom areas also, it's basically right now due to COVID, the prices have gone up very high.
Mhm.
One difference between the Santa Clara or Santa Clara counties or Alameda counties is, right, depending, for example, you get in 1.25 million a year, you might get in a 1,000 square footage usually around here.
Mhm.
But
Right.
if you're going further away, you might get better
3,000.
looking, yeah,
Yes.
better good looking houses. So
Mhm.
that's what you need to watch out for. Do you
Correct.
want to stay something in a smaller house, but you
Mhm.
want to stay something closer to the commute, or if you
Correct.
want to stay further away and you want to like basically okay to stay in a bungalows, right? That's what I keep saying that.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, but if you can increase your purchase price, then you would be basically, you can get a better houses also here also. It depends on actually on the income level. That's where the qualifications level also.
Hmm.
So once you narrow down, okay, this is basically, these are the questions you need to be talking to the realtors. This is, I'm assuming this, you're finalized on the realtors. And basically when you're working with me, I help you on the mortgage consultant also. That makes it easier for you. It's a one-stop solution for all your
Mhm.
real estate needs, right? Like for you,
Right.
no need to go for the mortgage place somewhere else and even the real estate place somewhere else.
Mhm.
So once you understand these two parts, right, like understand your, where is your cities, where is your like which house, like then you start visiting your open houses, right? Like once you like the houses, start visiting the houses. Once you start visiting the houses, what to look out for, that is very important, right? Like
Mhm.
basically before you go to the visit the homes, like you need to find out, like, do you need a bedroom, one bedroom in the downstairs? What is your requirements?
Preferences. Yes. Requirements. Mhm.
Requirements is very very important. Like for example, the family is like, as the older parents coming in, their
Mhm.
requirement is like they need to have a one bedroom downstairs,
Downstairs.
right? And how
Right.
many bedrooms, like depending on the family size for yourself, right? Like
Mhm.
depending on your family size, you might need a 3 bedrooms, you might need a 4 bedrooms,
Right.
right?
Yes.
So watch out for that. When you visit for the open houses, watch out for all that. What I usually suggest to all my clients is like every time you visit the open houses, create an Excel sheet, right? Create an Excel sheet, understand the pros, write down the pros
Pros and
and
cons.
the cons, what you are seeing.
Correct.
Come back, have a discussion with your realtor. These are the houses what I watched for or what I saw today. What do you think about it? Go
Right.
about the like what go about the recent sales around that area per square footage. Usually, how much it is selling it is.
Mm-hmm.
Try to narrow down on the prices, right?
Right.
Try the crime, check out the crime mapping. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
The
That's
crime mapping
important.
website is very, very important to understand what sort of the crimes are involved in that. Are there any burglaries inside the house? Right. All these things is very important. When after you, this is a homework after you do, basically after you do it, visiting at open houses.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Once you
Right.
understand this is the house is basically fits in. And one more thing is very important is like after you visit, this basically after you visit, some of them before even visiting to the open houses, they look out for the disclosures, right? What is a
Correct.
disclosures? Basically, disclosures is basically give you the information about the house, like what, like the seller would have done the home inspection, seller would have done the roof inspection, seller would have done the termite inspection.
Right.
Right, seller would have completed SPQ, like seller questionnaires and everything, right? National hazard disclosures. Let me go through each of the reports so that it is easier when you are looking into it. NHD is like basically gives you like it is in the flood zone, it is in the basically it is in the earthquake zone, right?
Right.
You need to watch out for that, all that read in the NHD, National Hazard Disclosure. Right, if it is in a flood zone, you might be needing the flood insurance, so watch out for that thing, right? Then if it's an HOA, there might be an HOA disclosures also. You need to watch out for the HOA disclosures also. What are the limitations of the HOA there, right? Like some of the houses, there might be restrictions on the rental property, like you can't maybe give it for the rental also. Watch out for that. What are the HOA fees for that? So all these disclosures, like and then the inspection disclosures is very important. You need to be looking at the what is like basically foundation report on that, and basically are there any leaks in the house. And one more important question they ask me is the inspection report is prepared is trustworthy, right?
Correct.
Usually the inspections are prepared by the third party, right? So it is like it's basically a company which does it. So the sellers can't usually, nor normally should not influence on the report how they prepare it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's because it's prepared by the third party and we can trust on that. But again depends on the, and again depends on the companies also. If you have any doubts on the companies, you can review about the company's policy or company's reviews also to understand how the companies are doing it and how they're writing on the disclosures. Usually when they do that inspection, they look out for the foundation, they look out for any leaks in the house.
Right.
Are there any kind of damages in the house? Right, so all this, there will be a plumbing inspection, there would be an HVAC inspection, and there would be all the information related to the house, like basically would be covered by that inspection disclosures. The second thing is the roof report, right? The roof report also covers you basically how like basically what is the life left for this roof, right? The second thing is like is any issues in the roof, are there any leaks in the house, and how many, if there are any singles missing in the house, right? So all this roof report would be giving it to you. And the next very important report in the disclosures is termite report.
Very important. Yes.
Yeah, the termite report, we have already one caller, let's take it.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to the show. So may I know your name, sir?
Yeah, hi. My name is Tarun, and I have a question on the finance part. So, if I'm buying a second home, in that case, before I take the mortgage or when I'm applying for the mortgage for the second home, what should I? So I've seen that for the first home, the bank sometimes they need a kind of rental agreement. Or something like that, or that I'm already put up my house for sale. So is this true that I need to provide that kind of proof, or without that also we can get a loan by just providing the commitment that I will be renting that house or selling that house? The first loan.
Is it Tarun? Sorry, I didn't get your name. Is it Tarun?
Yeah, my name is Tarun.
Yeah, hi Tarun. Thanks for calling. It's a great question, Tarun. Like, see, usually when you're planning to buy a second house, right? So you no need to basically renting out your property or need a rental agreement before finding your second house. Usually the lender will check around that neighborhoods, what would be the rental income for that property or how much it can go for it based on the square footage. Or you can tell the lender how much it is usually going in around, so that basically they can negative or like reduce your like or include that in your income calculations. Right, understanding that one is very important, because your mortgage qualifications for the second house, right, would be based on your first house rental income. But you need to find a tenant and you need to sign the rental agreement after you go into contract for the second house, and you should be showing the deposit also, usually a first month deposit from the tenant. Usually it is like within a 30 days you need to find once you go into a contract, or 25 days depending on your contract agreement. Right, so that is why it depends on actually on your first house. Is it easy to find a tenant for you? You can do it within 25 days. If you think that is a difficult to get a tenant, you need to start finding it, but no need to sign an agreement.
Got it. So in that case, let's say, so that means I can do it after the closing, right? Because since I'm already staying at home, it's kind of very hard to find a tenant at that time.
Not closing, after you sign the contract of the second house. Okay.
Sure. Thanks a lot for this information. Yeah. I'll reach out for the larger discussion. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Tarun, for calling. I think, one more call is there, Nagraj. Hello, welcome to the show. Who is calling?
Hi, my name is Kumar. I had
Hi,
a question. So currently, I live here in the South Bay in Santa Clara, and I'm looking to purchase one more home, say towards Lathrop or Manteca or somewhere like that. Mm-hmm. So I had a question. So is there a rule that the second property should always be only an investment property, or it can also be another primary home? And is there a rule wherein if it's beyond a certain miles, it can be considered as a second primary home?
Yeah, hi Kumar, thanks for calling in. Hope you're having a great day. So see, like when you want to buy, there is no need to go for an investment property. If it's more than this many miles, right, you can show it as a secondary house. Okay, the secondary house requirements depends on basically on the lenders. Some lenders might be need a 10%, or some lenders might be needing a 20%. So no need to show it as basically an investment property for you. And one more thing, what you can show it also, you can show it as basically a vacation homes, or you can basically show it as like you want to downgrade, right? Depending on the lender requirements, you need to be showing the basically the proof, like what is the reason you're downgrading in.
Got it. But how about if I'm going to a new builder who are constructing the homes? Would they have any such restrictions that because the lenders, I understand that sometimes they ask you to go with their mortgage company and not with an external lender.
Yeah. See, this is with the new builders, right? Yeah. New builders, you're talking about the new builders can't tell you go with this lenders. What they're playing a trick is they basically tell you, I'll give you a 25,000 towards your closing cost, or a 15,000 towards your closing cost, right? That's what they try to do it. But only thing is what with even the 20,000 or 25,000 credit, watch out for their rates, because the rates are a little bit higher when compared with the other lenders. Okay, so it's okay to like basically not 20,000 or 15,000 credit towards your closing cost, then you can go with the different lenders also. Okay. Because the rates are so high, you are going with them also. If they're giving a credit also, you need to do the math usually also, right? Like for example, you take the credit, if you refinance, what would be your rates also? right?
Got it. And what would be your recommendation, Nagraj, for new homes that are being built? Would it be recommended to go through a real estate agent like you, or just going directly to the builder and negotiating on the price?
See, it's not only about the price also, right? It's always better to go with the agents, because if something happens in the contracts, right? It's like, for example, recently one of them went with builders directly. If something happens, right? Like, for example, you were put in a kind of in a contingencies also, right? Having a discussion with the realtors, right? It helps you out, like not only the price point, how it is going on, what are the upgrades to be negotiated, right? Most of the builders, they might be firm on the price, but sometimes it might be on the upgrades negotiations, but even the location wise also, right? And even the basically, if sometimes you need an extension during the closing of the loan, all this can be done by the realtors for you. So basically they can do a more of hand holding for you, so that you can easily concentrate on a closing instead of worrying about other things for yourself.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely helps.
Yeah. Thanks, Kumar, for
Thanks,
calling
Kumar.
in. And if you have any questions, do please give me a call back and we can have more discussion. Do you have any follow-up question, Kumar?
Sure. Thank you, Nagraj.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Nagraj. So I think you have given a lot of information, and which I am now thinking like I should have met you before buying my house.
Yeah,
So it's a great information. And listeners, if you think you missed the chance, and then you can directly go to the channel, Nagraj Annaya's channel on YouTube, and you will have so much information, and you can directly call him also.
Let me continue with the, I think we have another 3 minutes left in the
Yes,
show.
yes.
Ramp up the file about the buying out the house, right? Like usually. Once you look at the disclosures itself, why you need I think this was very important thing also, like the disclosures. I told you the disclosures itself is so many things to review, right? Having an expert for you, like, because I touched upon only on the inspection disclosures itself. I didn't even go in detail with what to look for the termites. I'll be basically termite disclosures. Maybe we'll discuss in the next week. We need to look out for the termite disclosures. We need to look out for what SPQ also. Basically, SPQ is a seller questionnaire. Seller will be noticing, will be basically writing down from last 2 years what happened in the property, right? Last 3 years, if there are any deaths in the property, they should be noted. Any upgrades has been there, right? All this will be like from the SPQ context would be saved. Basically, SPQ would be covering it all for you, right?
Sure.
Other than that, there will be a lot of disclosures involved when you are looking for before making a decision, right? After you finalize on reviewing the disclosures, it is the next thing is putting an offer. The next meeting or the next show will be discussing in detail what are the steps to put an offer, and how do you consider what is your purchase price for yourself. Okay. Thank you so much for calling in today, the listeners. If you have any follow-up questions, do give me a call back after the show. My phone number is 858-880-4577. It's a 858-880-4577, or visit nagrajhomes.com for more information. And one more important information I missed to tell
November 19th.
November 19th, we have 30 seconds, but it's a Bay Area Real Estate Connect. Do visit nagrajhomes.com for information. It's a great one. It's a 4 hours of an event which covers all about buying and selling and investing. Visit nagrajhomes.com for more information. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thanks, Nagraj. Thanks for everything. And I think if you have any questions, we'll connect on next Sunday, 12:30